let's get started. We have a question that's coming on our website, www.mbnow.in. Now, Ravi writes in to say that he plans to buy property in Bengaluru. Now, the seller of the property has entered into a sale agreement with the landowner for the landowner's share of the property. Now, the seller has taken a loan and has paid 70 lakh rupees on the loan so far. He's not registered this property, however. So, Ravi wants to know if he should pay the landowner or the seller 1% TDS if he buys his property by entering into an assignment agreement with the seller by paying 90 lakh rupees. He adds that the seller himself is yet to pay TDS for that earlier transaction. Now, Ravi plans to register the property and pay the seller 90 lakh rupees. Is that the right approach? You know, Suresh, I have another question on this, which is also whether Ravi should be buying it in the first place outright from the seller when he's not registered the agreement, when he's not paid TDS. So clearly the title in that sense has not really moved from the original landowner to the seller's hand, right? What do you have to say?
Yeah, I think that's a very, very sort of valid question which you have asked. The first and foremost is that you want to make sure that you have a proper title to the property. And the fact that the existing seller, he has not registered the transfer in his name and he has not even paid the TDS. So I think you have to first work out the legal modalities to make sure that you get a proper title to the property. So probably either there has to be a tripartite agreement with the plot owner on the one hand and then the seller on the other hand and you as the buyer, and whereby the conveyance of the property will be done directly from the plot owner to you. But for the seller, whatever rights he is having under the agreement, he will be assigning those rights to you. Therefore, that kind of consideration will go to him. And the TDS will then follow from the kind of legal agreement which you do. So if it's a tripartite agreement and consideration flowing to the plot owner as well as to the seller, then it will go in that ratio. And in case the seller is surrendering all the rights what he has got right now in favor of the plot owner, and for which the plot owner is compensating him, and you are then buying the plot from the plot owner, then your entire payment is going to the plot owner. So I think it is very important first to make sure that you have a proper legal documentation which will give you the title. And the TDS is 1%, so I think that is not a major thing. As long as it flows from the agreement, that should be really taking care of the entire thing.
Suresh, is there a third route over here where, Ravi actually asks the seller, requests the seller in this case, to go ahead, pay the TDS, to register that particular property, the sale agreement that he has entered into. And once that is done, then Ravi goes ahead and registers his own agreement and pays the TDS.
Yes, of course. I mean, yeah, of course, that is a possibility. The only point which might come up there is, and there may be a stamp duty implication. First, when there is a transfer happening from the plot owner to the seller, and thereafter then the seller again transferring it, now to the purchaser.
So if they enter into a tripartite agreement, they essentially are paying stamp duty only once.
So yeah, exactly. So I think that's what. So probably I think you need to have a proper legal advisor to make sure that you do a proper documentation. And of course, you minimize also the multiple taxes. At the same time, you don't compromise on your title.
Right. So Ravi, here's what you should do. You should ideally be going to a tax lawyer now with all these papers. Get a thorough legal check of the land title done, with all the transfers, etc. And also sit with him and figure out what is the best way to actually execute this agreement so that you don't end up paying an enormous amount in taxes.
You can watch live TV on our website mbnow.in. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/magicbricksnow. And don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at magicbricksnow. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/magicbricksnow.